Let us go to our first guest of the day. He will be by his man's side next week right here in the tri-state area as he attempts to win back the UFC bantamweight title. He is the Red Hawk. Just opened a brand new gym, the one and only, the pride of both Montana and Arizona, the inimitable Tim Welch. How are you, sir?
Doing pretty good, Ariel. We're having a good morning. I got the guys sparring downstairs, and I got a podcast after this with Mighty Mouse, and everything's going good.
I love how you're always kind of like looking off to the side there when you do the show. It's great.
Yeah, I think I'm not the one who set up this setup. One of my tech buddies did, and he set it up this way.
I like it, and you always look crystal clear. You always have a great setup, and it is worth noting that you are having a sparring day today at the gym, the brand new gym, and you decided to step away to do this program, which I appreciate very much.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you. So how is the new gym going? Because I've seen the footage. We had Suga on. He was talking to us about it. It looks to be fantastic. And also, how big is this gym? It looks gigantic.
Yeah, it worked out. It worked out good. It's 12,000 square feet and like 9,500 square feet of mat space, including like the 30-foot full-size octagon, and then now we have a weight room, and then we have my podcast studios above it. So it just worked out perfect. It used to be a grocery store, and the guys wanted me to get into it years ago, but I just couldn't quite. It didn't make sense, but now it makes perfect sense, and it already like feels like home.
It's called the Red Hawk Academy, right?
Yes.
And is this open to the public, or is it just for your team, just for the pros?
Sometimes we close off memberships. Right now, there's a few available, but you'll have to come in and see if there's any slots available.
Okay, is this a dream come true for you to own something like this?
Every day I wake up, I'm like, I can't believe this is my reality. It's absolutely crazy. And now, Sean and I, we have that 7.5 acre farm, and we have our animals, and then we got a lot of cool stuff going on. I told him, regardless of what happens in fighting ever again, I'm like, I feel like we've kind of won at this game.
Yes, amazing. Was there a time where you thought you weren't going to win, where you thought maybe like all this would be for naught?
Always in your 20s coming up. I think every professional fighter goes through it. You're just not quite sure. You're making little checks, $2,000 check, a $3,000 check. Hopefully a sponsor comes in. You're never quite sure if it's going to work out. There's always that hope, but you really never know. So kind of to get to where we're at now, it's pretty special.
And I've seen some big time luminaries come through the gym. Izzy stopping by, DJ stopping by. How do those meetings come about? Here's you and Izzy working. We'll have DJ up here as well. Is this just like, hey, we're in town, we want to work? Are they guys who came in to offer some wisdom to Sean? What's happening here?
Yeah, they come and do some wisdom and usually want to shoot some content and do some podcasts. I think our podcast with Israel's dropping probably this week, and it is such a good show. There's so many gems dropped in that show. And yeah, they pop by, and then luckily I get to hold a little bit of pads for them, do some training sessions, and I feel so lucky.
Did you have any DJ Suga sparring? Did they go toe to toe?
Yeah, I mean, we didn't full out MMA spar, but I had him grapple. I think 20 minutes in a row. I had him wrestle and do jujitsu 20 minutes in a row, and then I just kind of move around with the gloves, move around and do some lighter touch sparring with the gloves. So that was pretty cool to see.
How was DJ in his retirement form?
Still just jacked, shredded, jacked, explosive. I wanted Suge to kind of push the pace on him, make him tired, but he was right there with it. He was ready to push the pace. He's in phenomenal shape still.
We spoke to you. I remember you came on Helwani Vision after the Suga Merab fight at the Sphere, and that feels like a lifetime ago now. And here we are getting ready for the rematch. Could you tell us now, in retrospect, like post loss? Right, we've heard about all the things that Sean has done to change his life. He seems to be in a great place. He's eliminated some things that were maybe affecting his mental and all that stuff. When you looked at him in the locker room, when you spoke to him in the aftermath, did you think to yourself, this guy will be back, or were you worried that this would, for lack of a better word, break him, define him, and he'd never get back to a title fight?
I've seen it a lot. Like after a fighter loses, it literally just demoralizes them, and you see their confidence go away. But with Sean, he's not like that. He's a mentally very strong kid, and I knew for a fact that he's going to figure out what's going to be the best mentality I can have after this, and he's going to do that. And it forced him to change a lot of things in his life, and it forced him to just kind of level up, and it did kind of humble both of us, and it forced us to level up. So his mindset has been so good. Again, his happiness doesn't come from winning or losing his fights. His happiness comes from his relationships with his family and his health and stuff. So I knew I knew the type of kid he is. I'm around him enough. I know what type of kid he is. And it's not like he went out there and got his ass kicked. He didn't walk out of there with black eyes and bruised ribs and a cut face and hurt. He was more healthy after that fight, I think, than any of our other fights. And so it's just the tactical mistakes, got tired, was super bummed out for a little bit, but definitely woke up a different sugar.
So it's interesting when you say like it humbled us a little bit. In retrospect, do you guys think that you were kind of, I don't know, feeling yourselves too much? You were looking past Merab, you were on a roll. What do you mean by that?
I mean, we've taken these fights when we just weren't super healthy. I
Yeah.
mean, getting through that Aljo fight, okay, the camp was awful. Getting through the Cheeto fight, he still had that torn hip. We didn't have the greatest camp. So again, going into this third fight with someone like Merab, being like, well, look what we've won these past two fights with shitty camps. Like this is another one. Let's just go see if we can win. But someone like Merab, you got to be healthy for.
So, sometimes someone has a fight like that, they'll want one to get their mojo back and then jump into the title fight. He's jumping right in. Were you in favor of this?
Yeah, yeah, I was. I mean, a couple of the adjustments, like the game plan I had the last fight for him is just we were going to knock him out. He's so sloppy. He's so reckless. His chin floats up in so many different spots. We were so focused on knocking him out. So we got a different little plan this time, and I think it's going to work out better. And now that he got that surgery done, we're feeling a lot better. We're able to grapple a lot more. We're able to wrestle a lot more and be ready for a 5-round war with this guy. And just literally focusing on the things we can control. And again, I've seen people have the best camps in the world and be healthy and have the best camps and they go out and lose the fight. And people have shitty camps and then they go out and win the fight. So I'm not so stressed about that. Like Sugar's in great shape. He's ready to fight for 25 minutes. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen on that night.
Do you still feel the same about Merab?
In what way?
Well, you said like he's reckless, he leaves his chin, he could get knocked out, things like that, or do you view him in a different way?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely view him in a different way. He from the outside looking in, similar to Sean. If you watch video on him, it's like, God, he's got so many holes. But then when he's in front of you, it's different. His timing on his shots is so good, and he's so explosive, and he penetrates so hard, and he'll run through you. So I mean, definitely not underestimating him. No, he's the best bantamweight right now. There's no one like him that has a record like his. No one ever in history has had a record like his. Can you name anybody who's had a 5-fight win streak like he has right now?
No, I mean certainly not in the bantamweight division. He is starting to enter that conversation. I think like the hipster thing to say is like, oh, Dominic Cruz, and then TJ, and then you get into like the Jans, the Aljos, the Sugars of the world. But if you actually look at who he had to beat en route to becoming champion, and then of course since becoming champion, it's an unbelievable run. He might be one of the most underrated fighters in the UFC still to this day.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And every fighter's fear when you talk to him is gassing out in there. And that's one thing. That dude is so springy. He is a machine. He's an absolute freak show. So I'm excited to see what happens.
What impressed you most about his performance against Umar?
Probably, I mean, he wasn't afraid to shoot. He wasn't afraid to just engage and swing. He was opening up a lot more on his feet, and his punches are pretty underrated. He covers a lot of distance. He throws really hard hooks. He likes to punch and then shoot, and he likes to punch and then shoot. And it's a hard thing to figure out. And just against Umar, who's undefeated, has Habib in the corner, all this build up, and Merab just goes out and does the same thing he does. It was really impressive.
Have you noticed a tangible difference in Sean on a day-to-day basis, getting rid of social media? I think he's not smoking as much, or if at all, compared to what he was doing last year. Like, does he seem like a different person as a result of these changes?
Yeah, I definitely think so. He quit weed completely. I was
Wow.
trying to like he was really sore 2 weeks ago. I'm like, hey, I got this thing. It's called herbs, and it'll help you relax a little bit. He's like, nope, not doing it. He just completely quit the weed and completely got off Instagram, got off Snapchat, got off X.
Wow.
So before every time we're doing something, I mean, his following's so big. He makes such good money on social media. Every time we're doing something, it's like, oh, what kind of content create from this? What kind of funny reels can we do? He's always thinking about that. Now he's not thinking about that kind of stuff at all, and I think he's a lot more at peace.
Wow. Has this inspired you to not use these things?
I mean, yeah, I would. I'm pretty jealous of what he's got going on right now. I'm not quite as rich as he is, so one day when I get there, I'll be able to just kind of put him away.
I remember when you guys had that conversation when the fight was first announced, the rematch was first announced, and he talked about all these things. Did he tell you he was doing it, or were you learning when we were all learning as well?
No, I think he quit that a couple weeks even before. I since the new year,
Wow.
he completely cold turkeyed it all, which is pretty impressive, and he did it.
Do you think that he is going to stick with this? Like never smoke again, never go back on social media. If he has success on June 7th and it's like, hey, it worked, do you think there's a chance that he just stays this way?
I think there's definitely he doesn't want to be back on social media. The amount he says the amount of anxiety that he doesn't have anymore just because not being on Snapchat, not being on Instagram, not being on X, he really liking it and has more time to hang out with his kids and just focus on things that are healthy for your mind instead of everybody else's input. The smoking weed thing, I think he'll do a little herbalization with me once in a while because I don't think that hinders us that bad.
Do you think that you'll recommend this to other fighters? You know, because I can't imagine what it's like being a star athlete or a fighter in the year 2025 where you go on your phone and people are telling you how much you suck or how great you are on a constant basis, right? 20 years ago, athletes never had to deal with this. Celebrities didn't have to deal with this. Is this something that you think could help a lot of fighters to just have someone run it? Don't go on it. Don't let it get into your head.
I think it all depends. I mean, the amount of money some of these guys are making on their social media is absurd. Like it's seven figures a year. They're making serious money, and that's money that can retire your family, that can go into different investments. So to say just, oh, drop it completely, it's hard to say that for everyone. For his it's a little different. So I don't know if I'd recommend that for everyone.
Can I ask a follow up about something that I believe you said to ESPN? You talked about the sphere and the lighting back when you guys. And maybe you can expand or clarify. Initially, when I saw this, I thought like, oh, is he saying like the bright lights, like the proverbial bright lights of the sphere got to him? But I think you were talking specifically and literally that the lighting in the sphere may have affected Sean in the fight. Is that accurate?
No, I mean, it just that whole night. I mean, you always see Sean when he gets in the octagon, he'll get in the guy's face, he'll walk up to him with his
Yeah.
arms open and just has that aura about him. And he didn't do any of that. He didn't do any of that. And we didn't really get to see the sphere at all until we walked out of the cage. And it felt quite a bit different. And I don't know if it was the sphere that had to do with it, but just that night, I don't know. It's just something about it. We were meant to lose that fight. And now it's just going to make this one that much sweeter.
To anyone who says that Sean doesn't deserve this, my response is, who else? Who else does? Like, who is he? Who is he? Who is he leapfrogging? Whose opportunity is he taking away? I don't think that there is a single person out there. I mean, like even Umar didn't necessarily deserve it. He hadn't gone through a murderer's row to get to a title shot. But all right, fine, it made sense, and Merab was down. Do you get annoyed when you hear any of that, or do you not listen to any of that stuff?
I'm getting a lot better at posting and ghosting. And
Yeah.
then if I see a post that's about me or if it's about Sean, I just scroll right past it. I mean,
Wow.
really could care less what the comments are saying. So when I do post, I usually post and ghost it. And then any of these feeds and stuff that come up about us or the fight, I don't even read them anymore.
Okay, that is good. When we spoke to him right after this fight was announced, he said it was about like 10 weeks before the fight that he got hurt the first time. And he was like, here I am, 10 weeks, and I'm good, knock on wood. Obviously, you're not going to tell me if he's dealing with some sort of injury, but overall, would you say that this is a lot less stressful than, your previous camps?
Yeah, I wouldn't say less stressful just because the guy we're dealing with, just because Merab is such a tank. So I wouldn't say less stressful, but again, it's not like I'm not waking up in the middle of the night like I was before the fight with Aljo, like constantly stressed about that fight. I feel a little bit better for it, but like I said, shitty camp, great camp. It's whatever's going to happen in that 25 minutes on that night. So I'm not really playing into it too much, just trying to kind of be in the moment this whole week, be in the moment all the next fight week, focus on what we can control, and then just go see what happens.
Do you bring in any guys who mimic Marab, and have you found those people?
Yeah, we found a kid from Tucson, Chris Q is his last name. I mean, he's Merab's Zach height. He's springy, just like Merab. He throws big overhands, and he's been giving us such a phenomenal look. So
Okay. One thing that I think is interesting is that I felt like you kind of, I don't know, you kind of got under Merab's skin to a degree with the talking, with the talk before the fight. He continues to bring that up. He's not too happy with it. Are you going to try to replicate any of that on June 7th?
I don't. I mean, I don't. I don't think so. I mean, it didn't do anything the last time. It did definitely do something. If let me ask you, if you were a part of a team,
Yeah.
if you were a part of a team, and you know you could say one or two things to cause that other team to make a mistake, would
hmm
you do it?
In the fight or before the fight?
No, in the fight, in the fight. If you knew you could do something to cause the other guy to make a mistake, would you do it? Your team versus theirs.
Yeah, no, I get it. I don't think what you did was wrong. I don't think what you did was out of bounds. And in fact, I think a lot of other coaches would do the same and have done the same. I think it just really
Yeah,
bothered him.
yeah. It's definitely not a new trick because I mean I've been in fights before. The other coach is talking to me, and it definitely you hear it, and it goes through your mind. So, I mean, I guess there's a rule. There's a rule. John McCarthy said is excessive coaching. I still have yet to see this rule. I've still yet to see this rule. And this isn't
Excessive coaching. Interesting.
excessive coaching. And then again, you see the videos, and I said, Merab, you need to be patient. And now, but then now you said, Big John said, you can't even say the other fighter's name. If you say their other name, then that's not.
And then what happens?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm
They
still
kick you
not
out?
clear on it. I don't think they kick you out. I've never heard of that. But it's not like it's just over there, like yelling the whole time, being an absolute freak show. Just a couple things here and there.
What about fight week? Any mind
Uh,
games?
Fight week. I don't know if we'll really see him. We're staying on an Airbnb that's
Yeah.
not the fighter's hotel. I don't know if we'll really see him. But like I said, if we do see him, it's like our main goal. Hey, we're looking to knock you out on Saturday night. So if getting in a little scuffle before that could put this fight in jeopardy is the most stupid thing I've ever heard of. So
I thought the hatchet was buried when I saw them hanging out at the PI together. They were in the jacuzzi. It seemed like everything was good. But then I asked Merab that, and he said, "Yeah, all's good, but not if I see his coach."
yeah, I don't know what's little. I mean, what
He's still upset
what's
about it. It seems.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. I mean, people call me a carrot top redhead all the time, and I don't really take it to heart. That's what I am, and I think he got upset about the nose comment a while ago. And I mean, the truth hurts sometimes.
Um, is this a do or die fight for Sean? And I only ask that because sometimes we've seen fighters lose to a champion twice, and then they're stuck in purgatory, right? They're not going to get another crack at that person. And so, is that the mentality, or is it unfair? The cliche is every fight is do or die, right? Every fight is the must-win fight, is the biggest fight of your life. But considering it's the same guy back-to-back fights, does it have a different kind of pressure attached to it?
Yeah, it does. It does have a pressure attached to it, and Sean feels the pressure. But like I said, thinking about that, thinking about what if I lose, thinking about what if I win is just pointless.
Yeah.
Focusing on what we can control. We were watching Chuck Liddell versus Randy Couture. They fought 3 times.
Yeah.
And was it after Chuck got beat up pretty bad? Did he fight another one, or did he fight Randy Couture right after that?
I think he fought another one.
He fought another one, and then came back and knocked out Randy twice.
Yeah.
So again, we're just focusing on what we can control, and there's ways we can lose this fight, and there's ways we can win this fight. So
Some have suggested, Chael being one of them, others as well, that hey, if it doesn't work out, 145 is always an option. Has that been discussed at all?
I mean, it's definitely possible. It's definitely possible. There's still really big fights at bantamweight, and Sean's 5'11". He walks around at around 160 pounds. So if we took 6-7 months to put 3, 4, 5 pounds of muscle on him, he definitely could hang with a lot of the 145ers.
Would you like to see him at some point, win or lose, like at some point down the line? Would you like to see him at 45?
Yeah, I mean, down the line, I think there's a bunch of really big fights for him at 145, and these weight cuts, they really are brutal.
Are they? Are they getting tougher?
I wouldn't say they're tough every single time, but he's the most professional when it comes to cutting weight. He has written down in his journal everything he ate on every single day, what he weighed on this morning, what he weighed on this morning. So he has it so dialed in, and he's so professional with his weight cuts that they suck every single time, but he's going to make weight every single time.
When you watch Merab fights when you break it down? You're a big tape guy. Like you watch fights a lot before a big one like this.
Yeah, I like to watch tape.
Which fight would you say was not his best, his most dominant, other than yours? Who do you think fought him the best?
I mean, is there anybody that hurt him? I'm trying to think
That's the
later in the
thing.
rounds.
There's not a lot. There's not a lot of like lowlights for him, right?
Yeah. No, there's not. He's good. He's good at getting up in a position, just doing enough damage to not get you stood up. And he's not going to beat your ass. He's going to make you tired. He's going to make you tired. He might knee your thigh a couple times. He's not going to beat your ass, but he's going to dominate the positions. He's an expert at winning 25 minutes. But yeah, I mean, the only person I've seen really hurt him is Suge hurt him in the 5th round. That's the only person I've seen. I mean, Marlon Moraes, they cracked him and stuff, but later on in these championship rounds, I mean, Suge's gave him his best go.
I saw you post some really interesting pictures of yourself, like old school pictures. Were you in a school band or something back in the day?
No, that was at University of Montana when I was in college. The dorm next to me, the guy was in the school band, and I asked if I could get suited up in his outfit.
Look at you. You look fantastic there.
Yep.
What's happening on the right?
The right, I was about to fight at the Playboy Mansion, and I was just getting a mullet done. And I was frosting the tips on that one.
You fought on one of those Strikeforce cards on at the Playboy Mansion.
It was in a boxing ring. I don't. It wasn't a Strikeforce card. It was in a boxing ring where they had boxing events, and then they had some MMA fights too. Yeah.
Any good experiences there?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I mean, I got fight of the night with some kid, and then we got a little extra bonus, and then we got a party in the grotto. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. I went to a Strikeforce fight at the mansion as well, and I walked into the grotto and took a selfie of myself. Like this is back in like 07 when, but it was just me taking a selfie, like there was nothing else going on.
I bet that was pretty cool.
It was fun. I went into the bathroom. I was like, ooh, I wonder what happened here one day. I wonder if these walls could talk, but I didn't really have much experience.
Got to squeeze a couple fake tits?
No, I was just there by myself. I just took a picture of myself. Did you meet Hugh?
I saw him sitting there. I didn't get to meet him. After my fight was done, I wanted to meet him, but then I think he wandered off to bed.
Yeah, no, it does. It's tough when you're that age. Also, the bowl cut, I saw that too. That was a tremendous look back in the day.
And that I was getting ready for the Bellator welterweight tournament.
What?
And
really?
Bellator
That's you?
Just signed me, and they're like, okay, we're bringing everyone to Florida for a photo shoot. So I was like, well, there's a little $10 barbershop sign right there. I'm gonna pop in, get myself a cut. Took my glasses off.
No way.
I felt this old fart. He just started cutting scissors right across my forehead. My girlfriend, she started laughing, and I didn't know what she was laughing for. And then he spun me around in my chair and he said, "This is what a young man should look like right here." And it was a fucking bowl cut, just
Come
like
on.
this. And I was pissed.
Holy shit! And did you do the photo shoot looking like that?
I had to. I mean, I went to Walmart, say, "Hey, is there anything you can do?" And they just fucked it up even worse. So I went to the photo shoot.
At that point, you almost have to like shave it all off, no, and start fresh.
God, but with my 5 head, big fat red head, like I just don't look good bald.
Look at the glow up here. Look at the difference in how you look now. You've got a nice tan, no glasses anymore. What do you got? Contacts? You get LASIK?
I got the PRK surgery. The LASIK you can't get if you're if you do jiu-jitsu or kickbox or anything, because the LASIK you get your eye hit and then the patch falls off or whatever. But I got PRK.
What's that?
PRK. You go under a laser, and they keep your eyes open and they scrape off a layer of your eye.
Stop.
And you're awake.
What?
You're awake seeing it. The laser goes into your eye for about probably not even 30 seconds. And then they'll do the other eye. Within probably about 3 weeks, I was just seeing perfect.
Come on. Just once?
Just once. It took maybe 10 minutes. And then about 3-4 weeks of healing, and my eyes are perfect now.
They scraped the layer off your eye?
While you're awake.
Like, are you like, is there anesthesia? Is there any sort of like numbing?
Well, they usually give you 1 Valium, and I asked for 2, so you're pretty numb.
Holy shit, that sounds awful. But it worked.
Best thing I ever done in my life. That's why I always wonder why Charles Oliveira, he doesn't do it. He wears his specs and he's squinting. I don't know why a lot of these guys don't do the PRK. $4,000 and your vision's fixed.
One shot. Wow, no one's really promoting that. I haven't heard that.
Yeah.
Good for you. I don't know if I could do that, but I don't need to fight, so it's It's neither here nor
You
there.
couldn't do it because of the fear?
Yeah, the fear. I mean, the scraping off the eyeball seems a little intense.
Yeah, I almost pussed out. I almost pussed out driving there. And then when I got there to the office, I'm like, all the people checking me in, they had glasses. I'm like, how come you guys haven't done
Yeah.
it? And they're like, well, we don't really know. And I'm just like, fuck. But they do like 50 people a day. So I was like, all right, let's just do it.
Was this post fighting for you?
Yeah, this was after fighting.
Okay. And when you were fighting, what were you doing?
Wearing contacts every single fight I've been in. The first punch, the first little flurry I get in, the contact would either pop out or turn sideways. And it was
Jesus.
it was an absolute nightmare.
Oh my, that's why you would have been a champion had you had the PRK prior.
Yeah.
Well, the gym looks fantastic. I love that you have the poker table there, right?
Poker table was at Shug's warehouse on the farm.
Oh, that's not the same spot. Gosh,
No, that's Shug's gym at his house.
with the Lamborghinis and all that.
Yeah.
What and the pink floor, whatever that's called, it looks like it's paint. It's a really nice look.
Yeah, it's like a 4,000 or 5,000 square foot warehouse. He's got all his recovery stuff in there. He's got his cars in there. We got a poker table in there. We got some mats and then a weightlifting gym. It's a pretty cool little setup.
You never have to leave the farm.
Nope, because then we got eggs. On just my side of the farm, I got about 18 eggs a day. I think there's about 10 or 12 fruit trees. On his side, he just butchered his cow about a year ago. He has fruit trees. He has his eggs. So we're almost getting there to where we never have to leave if we don't want.
And what are we doing as far as coffee is concerned these days?
Coffee, I got the new La Marzocco Micra.
Okay.
And then I got the La Marzocco machine at my house. It was like my dream setup for a long time, very expensive. And it is just so dialed. It's just absolutely the best cup of joe you'll ever have.
What's the morning drink? Like, what's the first one?
Morning, usually I suck down a big glass of water and then I'll head over and do a coffee. And I use some of this Laird superfood creamer. There's some mushrooms in it. My next door neighbor, he has a honey farm. So I do some of his honey, some of the fresh espresso. Wow. And then I have one of my students here that brings me a gallon of raw milk every week. So then I just use the raw milk and just get her going.
Golly, what a life. What a life. Delighted for you. Looking forward to this. Can't wait. Last question. Can you give us any you don't want to give it away, but you look at your crystal ball. How do you see this flowing? How do you see this going? What are you envisioning right now?
Man, I envision a hard fight where Suge's coming out of there dirty, but I envision him finding one of his shots. We got the old gloves backs, and those things are like fucking rocks, those gloves. And I envision him cracking Merab on the lips, hurting him, cracking him again, and then TKOing him.
Wow. Late, middle, early?
Maybe third round. All
right. There, and then we do it again for a third time.
Yep.
There it is. Tim, it's called the Red Hawk Recap Podcast, Timbo Sugar Show. Where's Izzy going to be on? Which one?
We did his podcast, so that'll be dropping on his channel probably this week.
Okay. And DJ, you're doing later today.
DJ, we're doing on the Red Hawk Recap on my page.
Love it. Love it. You're doing everything. Congratulations on the new gym. Good luck next week. Can't wait for it. And thank you for taking out some time to join us today. Really appreciate it.
No problem. Thanks, Ariel.
You're the man, Tim. There he is, the great Tim Welch. Thanks for watching this video. Before you go, if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button for us. Also, give us a thumbs up. Leave a nice comment. These things go a long way. And while you're here, do check out the rest of the channel. We've got live shows and full interviews, clips, and a whole lot more. We're doing big things here, and we appreciate your support very much.